Fly me back in time so we can play among the stars. Come and see what war was like before the coming of Sigmar. In other words, here they are. In other words, that old world charm.
G'day, our lovelies. We're here. We're talking about a new book. It's episode 58 of That Old World Charm. Hopefully you guys are here to enjoy a review of a brand new Arcane journal. And Arcane journals continue to change in form. So this is going to be an interesting one to discuss and disseminate. I'm joined by the full triumvirate of the charmed ones. Me being Phoebe, of course. But Danny, the Man Mountain, McDavid is here also. Hello, mate.
Adam, I'm here.
You got upgraded from Meat Mountain to Man Mountain.
Mountain.
It'll change as the weeks go by. And Peter the Falcon, who you just heard. Hello, mate.
Kaka. Thank you. Hello.
You didn't call us all your babies, so we're off to a good start.
Well, it's going to happen later. Don't worry.
Of course, this is a two-part podcast. You come over to Patreon, That Old World Charm, and get our dissemination of this book, where we're going to be talking about some list building, some bits and pieces. We're also going to be designing some brand new characters, because as you will see, there's some stuff to discuss. But off the cuff, hot takes, Danny. How do you feel about this book, and what are your thoughts?
I like this book because it has a little bit of something for everyone. So there's probably a pretty valid reason for you to buy this book, no matter what army you play.
I would agree. Peter, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's dead on. I think what people expected this book to be and what it actually is are two different things.
I think this book is the most significant buff to legacy armies that we've seen this edition.
Because there has not been another one.
Correct. Well, hasn't been a direct quality of life improvement for legacy armies, and that is because we have a whole 3 pages of new magic items that are available to everyone. So legacy armies actually have something new to play with for the first time, which is very exciting. And like we said, that's the biggest reason that pretty much everybody will likely want to know what's in this book and possibly buy it. Whereas I'd say the last 4 Arcane journals, unless you were an absolute Cathay stan, you probably didn't have much reason to get involved. Or, you really like Slayers and you wanted to play 20 Doomseekers and be that guy.
I mean, I did until
Peter. But all right, let us jump into
to talk with you about for quite some time, and
we're gonna have an intervention.
We're just kind of embarrassed.
You're gonna have an intervention. You're gonna walk into a room. It's gonna be a circle of chairs with me and Danny, and then 18 of your 20 Doomseekers on a chair each.
It's not as embarrassing as it has to be for Nicole Kidman to have to watch her ex-husband play music at Mar-a-Lago for Donald Trump. Come on.
Yeah, I figured that was the last straw, right? That was when she knew she was out.
Well, I think this happened after. I think this is he's in his denouement. He's in his low. Although I do believe he did a gay love song at the place and they didn't realize. So maybe there's some infiltration going on. We'll never know.
Yeah. He's playing both sides. He's a double agent.
Yeah.
I figure she opened his calendar to see when next time she was going to see him, and she saw a Mar-a-Lago and she's like, "Ew, I'm out." But anyway, let us jump into this book. There are some things in here that Peter's going to tell us about. There's the campaigny stuffs that Peter is our man who unpacks. So take it away, mate.
Yeah, I guess. Well, first up, there's some really cool lore. This book kind of takes place during the last book, the Storm Dragon Jade Fleet book. So there's some story overlap. You're seeing the chaos side of it, where they invade the Westerlands and take some farming communities and build their own little fortress in the Westerlands and then move forward. Then you see what happens when Miao Ying comes in and starts taking stuff back. And it kind of leads to this big brawl for all at some major fortresses. And then we move into the concepts of the Marauder tribes, blah, blah, blah. There's some really cool stuff there. So lore-wise, once again, GW knocking it out of the park. There's some really great stuff.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Razing of Westerland just the burning of the Westfold?
If you think that the Dutch are hobbits, then yes.
Yes. Yeah. in every way, shape, and form. And then we get some lore about like how the Marauder tribes do their worship, and like the Chaos gods as Marauder tribe gods, so like the Carrion Crow and the Bloodied Hound, and the Slithering Serpent, etc., etc. And then when it comes to rules, the first thing we get is
I need to stop you there. So not only have they ripped off Lord of the Rings with this, they've also ripped off Harry Potter with the four houses. But anyway, continue.
I don't believe they did that. I don't believe that at all. But anyway, the big news for some people, including me, is they've brought back Path to Glory in this book. So after we get all that lore, there's also some new lore about 2 new Chaos characters, which we don't have rules for. But as they kind of move up the Chaosy warrior ranks, and the whole concept is it's to give you like a background towards Path to Glory. And Path to Glory has been in existence before for Warhammer Fantasy Battle players. It's basically campaign mode or like slow grow mode, and this gives you like official GW rules to do it. A lot of these rules are from previous editions, so if you've played the Path to Glory campaigns in the past, there's a lot of overlap. They've just kind of made some modifications. So it gives you the idea of like how to set up a campaign with your friends. They recommend that you have like an overseer, like a dungeon master that makes sure everything gets scheduled and sets up maps and things like that. And then you get this like full explanation of like how you should give out awards, including like campaign points that you can spend on things for different types of victories, whether it's a crushing victory, a minor victory, a draw, or a loss. And then the big thing that everybody loves in a Path to Glory campaign is unit upgrades and downgrades. So as you play through the games, they've built out tables that you can spend your experience points on in order to upgrade units in your army before you go into your next game. Or in the case of if you've lost them, perhaps downgrade them where they lose special rules, which is kind of cool. And they do this both on a unit level and a character level, which is pretty cool, pretty great. And yeah, it's always exciting for GW to kind of embrace this side of things. It's kind of my favorite way to play Old World amongst friends is campaign modes. So if you've been thinking about it, I highly recommend picking up the book just to get like their basic rules. And then if you want to expound on that, you can. Actually, my gaming group locally in Moncton, we've just started our first Path to Glory campaign. So it's really awesome that this is coming out like literally 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like after we've gotten started. So we'll be able to kind of mesh this part of it in, I think, pretty easily.
I'm just excited they're fleshing out all the ways to play the game. And they've been doing that systematically in Arcane journals for quite some time. They gave us the way to play small games, which I actually hear is extremely good.
Yes.
And there's only one left. There's only one left that I actually want. And it's the only one I wanted from the start. Where is my goddamn Triumph of Treachery? Where is it? It's the best. It's the greatest. It's the greatest. Some of the greatest moments I've ever had playing a game ever.
Triumph of Treachery, when it's like they do the full rule set, is so amazing, especially at 4 players.
Oh, dude. I have like my 5 top core memories, my 5 proudest and funnest moments playing any tabletop game. And yeah, there's winning like 100-player events in 40K and stuff. It's like 3 of the top 5 are just like a garage Triumph and Treachery game. 3 of my top 5 favorite memories. They're just the best.
If they brought back the full book with like the cards and like the treachery rules, so great.
The bribes, so good.
Just don't play 3 players, guys, because someone will always feel bad.
Destroyed. Somebody will. There's always going to be someone who feels bad. All right, so let us jump into the meat and potatoes. So starting on page 38, for anybody wanting to follow along at home, new Marauder data sheet. And the most important change or impactful change here is they're on 30 mil bases. Gentlemen, anything else that is dramatically changed about Chaos Marauders? They still move 4, weapon skill 4, 3s for strength and toughness, 1 wound, initiative 3, 1 attack, leadership 6. A lot of people were worried that Marauders would be like getting extra toughness or, down 1 weapon skill or any of these other things, but it looks pretty much the same.
Oh, it's
anything I'm missing?
It's
on the stat line. On the stat line is
stat line is exactly the same. The only The equipment has changed. Light armor is free now, so you're staying at 6 points per model, but you're getting light armor out of that. So you get like a point basically taken off your unit. However, you've lost the ability to get marks with Chaos Marauders. There's new marks instead for Marauders and Horsemen. The only mark you're allowed to have is Mark of Chaos Undivided. So if you choose not to take any of the new marks, you get that one still, which a lot of people do like because of the leadership rerolls.
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of like the big downgrade is you no longer get like Mark of Tzeentch available to you or any of those other good ones. You have new ones instead that are less good.
Fair. You still have the flails and the great weapons. You can still take shields. We've got the 4 cults that are 1 point per model as it was before. You still have all unit upgrades. Champion is 7 points. The others are 5. The headman can take, or the champ can take 25 points of magic items. And then, which is new, correct. And then 1/3 per 1,000 points can take ambushes for 1 point. Replace closed order with skirmishes for free, and closed order with open order for free, and then magic standard up to 50 points, which I believe is also new.
Yes.
And then for special rules, we have closed order horde, Mark of Chaos Undivided, shield wall, and warband. Did they have shield wall before?
They did. They didn't have horde before.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry, they didn't have horde. Overall, is this an upgrade, side grade, downgrade, do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, look, chaos marks are unit defining, like, especially being able to give you guys an extra attack with Mark of Corn through Frenzy, right? Although now it's only being on the charge, much less powerful depending on the comp system you're playing. Horde is a great rule. They have Warband, which is one of the best rules in the game. I mean, yeah, I think this is an upgrade for them in my mind.
Yeah, and when we get into like what the new cults do instead of having the old marks, you'll see like it's not awful. It's not like it's like a drastic downgrade. I think it's a big downgrade for Horsemen just because Mark of Tzeentch Horseman was a big deal, and you're losing that. But I think for like regular Marauders, this is perfectly okay.
Me too. I think it's so in form and function upon which the units were being currently taken in like meta lists, I think it's a downgrade. But for the units by themselves, just on face value, I think these are upgrades.
Oh, I mean, getting Horde, getting a magic banner, which you didn't have access to before, getting a magic item is big. Also, like ambushers wasn't something they had by default unless you used Wolves of the Sea. So getting access to ambushers is also great. Like there's a lot of good here. And free light armor. I think free light armor mostly counteracts the loss of the good marks.
I think so as well. I think the free light armor is actually quite good. Down to Marauder Horsemen, their stat lines are still exactly the same. They're 12 points per model. They are light cav on a 30 by 60 mil base now. Unit 5+, same as always. Light comes with light armor and shields, and then it gets a little spicy thereafter. Can exchange for cav or throwing spears for free, flails for 1 point per model, throwing axes 1 point per model, and then you have all the unit upgrades instead of marks, and then the same down the bottom, 1 per 1,000 for ambushes, 1 point per model, open order with skirmish for free, and magic banner with 50 points, and the same 25 points on the champ. Fast cav, fire and flee, Mark of Chaos Undivided, open order, Swift stride, and warband. So warband as well there. I like them now more as their own unit, but I like them less now as just a thing to fill out your core. I don't know if that makes sense to people.
Like, they get shields for free now, so that's big. You used to have to pay a point for that, so now you're 12 points. You're getting your 5-up armor save. That's not bad. Losing Mark of Tzeentch is a big deal because like that was kind of how you gave your sorcerer battery.
That was their secret raison d'etre. There was to be a bunker, be a movable bunker for your level 4, level 3 to go in. So that's what I mean. Like the form and function has changed. Like if you were just taking a unit of 5 marauders to be a skirmishing piece on your flank or something, that's better. But if you were taking them to be that bunker, that's gone. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, I think now they're just going to be objective holders, which is fine. Having access to ambush, which they didn't have before, except in Wolves of the Sea, is great. That's kind of the big thing. The other thing that is a bit of a downgrade is before you could switch between open order and skirmishers all the time. Like
because they just had that rule as part of their special rules. Yeah.
And they had both open order and skirmishers in their special rules. Now you have to pick, which is a bit of a downgrade there. It's just like a situational one where you can't reform into a different order. If you want to, you're going to have to pick at the beginning and stick that way. And especially with them being light cav, that's another kind of knock on them where, like, if you put a character in them, you have to choose open order now.
Yeah.
Because none of, except for I think the chieftain, the rest are heavy cavalry, so they can't be in skirmish mode and have a guy in them.
Oh. They were like cavalry before, though, right?
They were. The big difference was because, like, you could remove your character from the unit and put them back into skirmish mode if you needed to, just to get that extra maneuverability. So when you put your sorcerer lord in, if the sorcerer lord got sniped, or if you just wanted to like run off and fireball something, you would, and then they could go into skirmish mode and just have that extra little bit of run around. It's a very side nerf thing. It's not huge, but it's just something to be aware of now.
All right, jumping down.
So the only character that can really join them and still do that is the chieftain, the Marauder chieftain.
I think so. I'd have to go back. I'm pretty sure the chieftain is considered light cav, but he might be heavy cav anyway when he's on a horse. So.
All right, moving down to the next spicy addition here, chaotic traits. So touch of chaos using chaotic traits. These unnatural traits are the blessings of the dark gods, are represented by chaotic traits, upgrades that are available to models that represent the followers of chaos. Some characters and units within an army using the Warriors of Chaos Grand Army composition list, or either of the armies of infamy with the Arcane Journal, yada yada, can purchase chaotic traits as follows. Characters, Chaos Lords, Sorcerer Lords may purchase up to 2 traits. Exalted Champions, Aspiring Champions, Exalted Sorcerers, and Marauder Tribe Chieftains may have a single. Warriors and Knights can purchase single traits. Chosen Knights and Warriors can take 2, and then everything else pretty much can take 1. That being Marauders, Marauder Horsemen, Marauder Tribe Berserkers can take a singly. Note that the profiles given for Chaos Marauders and Marauder Horsemen, of course, are the ones in this book, not the previous. This is an interesting little subset of additional upgrades on top of the upgrades that you can already upgrade. In my mind, this is an unnecessary bit of tech, but it seems on brand. It's just, I don't know, it just feels like a bit of bloat for the sake of bloat. So they needed to fill up pages in this Arcane Journal, because none of this really slashed me in the face outside of like adding a little bit of extra spice. Like, this doesn't seem very necessary to have in the game, but I mean, Chaos players will be happy that it's here. It's just a little bit of extra customization. Peter, how do you feel about this as being a thing for Warriors of Chaos now?
Oh, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's good. It's obviously good, but it just feels like it wasn't needed. Anyway, Danny, takes it away. Tell about the first one.
Okay. So the first one is called Unnatural Fortitude. It's 20 points for character models, or units can take it for 2 points a model. Unless they are wearing heavy armor or full plate armor, models with this chaotic trait improve their toughness characteristic by 1.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, like, for me, I see this on Wolves of the Sea Berserkers. I think it's really good on them to take them to T5.
Yep.
Yep. And
it's okay on Marauders.
It is pretty okay. Yeah, everywhere you slice it. I'm not sure it's, I'm with you. I'm not sure it's always worth it on Marauders. 2 points.
Yeah, it's probably not. 2 points per
Yeah.
model is a lot, like when you get into like 30 model units, but a bunch of squads of like 12 to 14 Marauder Berserkers, getting them to T5 base is quite spicy. I'm sure someone with regular Marauders or Horsemen will do like a build with like a Nurgle Sorcerer, so they get the extra plus, so they can get up to like toughness 6 potentially with them, especially with the we haven't talked about the new marks, but one of the marks also gives like a one-time toughness buff, so you can get some like real sturdy dudes. There's also question here where like a lot of the really jacked characters, like your Chaos Lords and your like Exalted Champions, because you can just swap out their armor. Like if you gave them armor of meteoric iron, or you gave them armor of silvered steel, they no longer have heavy armor or full plate armor. So you can give them that toughness buff that way too.
Yep.
It's questionable about whether this works on a dragon, since dragons are technically count as having full plate. I'm not sure if that counters this, because otherwise that would be real crazy.
So the one I'm down with, because I have considered whether there's like a fun Wolves of the Sea list that has a good sized unit of Huskars, and I considered this on them pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, I think it's Berserkers or bust, unless you get the janky with the characters. Also, the Marauder Tribe Chieftain. What does he get on the Warhorse? He's light cav on the Warhorse. Sweet.
Yeah.
So there you go. You were correct.
It's cool on the Chariot, I think, if you can swap the heavy armor to something else.
Yeah, I think that's
cool.
an option.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, Peter, take it away. Next one.
Dark Hearts. So this is once again 20 points per model per character, 1 point per model per unit. Those whose souls have been corrupted by the touch of the ruinous powers are chilling to behold. This is for infantry or cavalry units only. If the winning side of a combat includes one or more units in which the majority of the models have this chaotic trait, each unit that belongs to the losing side suffers -1 to its leadership when making its break test. Models that have this chaotic trait that cause terror or that are immune to psychology are unaffected by this trait.
It's pretty much giving him terror, right?
It's giving you double terror if you already have terror.
Yeah. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, like there's like a bunch of leadership modifiers that Chaos can put together to make this like interesting. I don't think I would ever pay for this right now on anything. If there ever came a time where you could combo Warriors of Chaos with Beastmen, though.
Ooh, yeah.
Because Beastmen have even more ways to modify leadership. I think you could put together some kind of like Timmy combo where if you weren't up against immune to psych units, you're just like breaking them constantly with insane leadership debuffs. That said, it's cool. It's just a neat thing. I don't think you're going to see it often.
Nah, I don't think you're going to see it. Next up is Long Striders, 15 points for a character or 1 point per model in a unit, 0 to 1 per 1,000 points. Unless they are wearing heavy armor or full plate armor, models with this chaotic trait gain a Vanguard. I don't hate this one. I think it's a niche good and needs to be played into, but I don't hate it. 1 point per model isn't breaking the bank. You know, you can put it on a unit of 10 guys, a unit of, 5 horses, whatever. There's no infantry requirement. There's no has to be this or that. You can put it on any unit as long as they're not full armor, pretty much. And yeah, Vanguard's pretty handy. So don't hate it.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah. I think this is once again one where you can probably do something janky with like a chariot, like a character chariot or something.
There's no logical place for this to go. That's slapping me in the face right now, seeing as Wolves operates off ambushes, and having one unit that Vanguards up and then everything else in ambush just means that one thing gets double dead. So it's kind of...
But you do it in like Heralds of Darkness or something else, and I think there's benefit there. Once again, this is super niche, but maybe someone will have the combo. The other thing is like if they FAQ'd or ruled that dragon armor does not count as full plate armor for this thing, then all of a sudden like everything goes out the window and you can do some wild shit.
I hope it doesn't.
Vanguard a dragon would be fucking amazingly hilarious.
Stupid and so dumb.
I hate
Danny,
that so much.
Me too. Danny, we're back to you, mate.
All right. Hey, we got enhanced reflexes here. This is 10 points for a character or 1 point per model for a unit. Whilst engaged in combat, models with this chaotic trait that choose to fight with a hand weapon gain a +2 modifier to their initiative characteristic. Note that this chaotic trait applies only to a single non-magical hand weapon or an ensorcelled weapon and does not apply to a model's mount should it have one. If the model is using 2 hand weapons or any other sort of weapon, this chaotic trait ceases to apply.
Boo.
So I think this rules, dude.
I'm annoyed by the rider. I'm annoyed by the rider that you can't.
The italicized text that makes it less good than it could be. Yeah,
correct. That's what annoys me. I think the rest of it's good. I think it's good.
Like if you're gonna take a unit of Chaos Warriors, right, with hand weapon shield, you could make them Slanesh. Yeah, they could get like basically always strikes first because they're initiative 7 on the first round of combat.
Yep.
That seems kind of cool for 1 point a model.
I like this. Actually, I like this in Wolves of the Sea. If you're taking that
champion.
Like 5-man champion thing, because now he's like base initiative 6, possibly initiative 7 if you're Markov Slanesh. And that's like a pretty cheap. Like you're running now 16 points per model for, and it's a unit that is going to have like a 3-up armor in close combat. So that's no joke. Yeah, I think that's, if I'm going to use it, that's what it's going to be, something like that.
Is there a character that this is? No, there's not a character this is good on. There's no character that wants to.
I wouldn't pay 10 points for this on a character unless I had 10 points lying
just
around.
Burning a hole. You're up next, Peter.
Battle Hunger. This is a cool one. 10 points per model for characters, 20 points per unit. So the unit size doesn't matter. It's just flat 20 points. This possessed of an unwholesome thirst for battle, whole regiments race eagerly into the fray. Models whose troop type is infantry only, a unit which consists entirely of models with this chaotic trait, increases its maximum possible charge range by 2 inches. When making a charge or pursuit roll, it may apply a plus D3 modifier to the result. Just making your boys fast boys.
I like that they've got this as a flat rate per unit, because obviously if this was like 1 point per model, 2 points per model, you would min-max the shit out of this and it would just be very, very good. Having it 20 points per unit, I think gates it pretty nicely. And it does encourage you to Death Star this, though. It does encourage you to make a bigger unit, which is not kind of what you want to do with your infantry stuff. You don't want to, there's outside of like one brick of like ambushing marauders in wolves, I don't think there's like a list for Warriors of Chaos that has multiple infantry units of decent size. So I like this. I like where this sits. It looks like they've had some forethought about this, because it would be very problematic if I could just be like every model in my unit for 1 point per model, 2 points per model. It's just going to be pseudo cav, like baby cav. This is really good though.
Yep, I kind of like it if you're doing the gigantic Marauder brick in Wolves of Sea that's in ambush.
Yeah.
Where like going for toughness might be too much of an increase. You know, you're paying like 60 points or something.
Yep.
Paying just a flat 20 to get that, I'm going to ambush on, and my threat range is just that much greater now to like catch up and get into the fray. So.
Yeah. And now they've got the magic banner allocation. You could take reroll charges as well if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Sure.
And just try and clutch it. But I think this is quite good. All right, Brazen Will is up next. This is 10 points per character, flat 15 per unit. A model whose troop type is infantry or cav only. A unit with this chaotic trait gains MR1. So 15 points for MR1 on a unit, or 10 points on a model. Not awful, but I don't think, especially on characters, there's enough wriggle room in. See, the thing is, character point allocation in Warriors of Chaos is so effing tight. As it is, it's so tight, and they're actually quite spoiled, and they're about to be even more spoiled, that I don't think stuff like this kind of gets to make a case. But on units, I could see, I still can't tell you what unit though. I still can't tell you which unit I want this on. Maybe it's a unit of knights, like Chaos Knights, just to not get miraged that much often, or rusted, possibly.
Yeah, if you're not going to spend the points on one of these other things, I think it's fine on a lot of units. Like I find myself buying a lot of times like an Obsidian Lodestone to put on a champion kind of stuff. Yeah. So I think that this like is basically the same thing, but doesn't take up any kind of allocation.
Yeah, it just lets you, like, rather than go with Mark of Tzeentch, which a lot of people would do to but paying 2 points per model on like your knights or whatever. You're just like a flat 15 points for maybe a bigger knight unit or a bigger Chaos Warrior unit, and just getting the effect of that, but still getting to be Mark of Nurgle or Chaos Undivided. And I could also see characters taking it. I mean, Brazen Collar's right there for 10 more points for MR2. But if you you're not trying to use up your magic item allotment, then taking the 10 points for MR1 is a pretty solid option. It's basic bitch shit, but it's good. It's good basic bitch shit.
Yep. All right, Danny, you got the last one.
All right, so we got Prophetic Foresight. This is 10 points for characters or units. Sorry, I'm not going to read the text. Sorry, Peter.
You try.
Enemy units that deploy. Enemy units that deploy using the Scout special rule cannot be deployed within 18 inches of a unit in which every model has this chaotic trait, rather than the usual 12. In addition, enemy units that deploy via the Ambusher special rule may not be placed within 12, rather than the usual 8 of a unit in which every model has this chaotic trait. So to me, I feel like if you're like, you're going to play a mission with supply train and you want a unit that's going to guard this is the unit. This is the upgrade they get.
I think it's good. I think this will make its way into most like GT lists.
It's cheap.
Yep, 10 points. Still like throw on like a unit of Marauder Horsemen or something, and then like splay them out and just be like, you can't get into my deployment zone with ambushers. Is definitely worth it. If Warriors of Chaos ever got a piece of artillery that wasn't a garbage hell cannon, it would also be incredible just for that protection. Unfortunately, all we have is the thing.
I did have that thought, like, what if I just chuck this on a hell cannon in the backfield? And then I had to look at the hell cannon. I'm like, no.
Well, yeah, or if you could take it on a hell cannon.
Yeah, but you can't.
And maybe if the meta ever evolves into like everybody wants to play ambushers, you could do a funny thing and make your whole army have this. And then have a you're just not allowed to come on the board situation, like
correct
old school 40k scenario of you can't deep strike, so you're dead. Which might be funny, but
all right. Moving on to the Chaos Cults. This is what replaces your Marks of Chaos for your Marauders now. You can't have more than one chaotic cult, and a character with a Mark of Chaos can join a unit belonging to any Chaos Cult as normal. So there's no conflicts there. The first, and Praising the Dark Gods. This is how this works because these are once per game, similar to the scrolls that were put in the game for Tomb Kings.
Yeah, and it should also be noted this is only for Marauders and Marauder Horsemen.
Yes,
everything else is the old school ways.
Yeah, which is so Berserkers don't get it. So
Berserkers don't get it. Huskarls don't get it.
Correct.
Get it.
Would be real nice if Huskars got it. I don't think Berserkers need it, but Huskars getting it would be sick.
Yeah, this would be cool.
Huskars having the old marks, they should.
Yeah, me too.
Also good.
All right. During the command subphase of its turn, a unit belonging to a Chaos Cult may implore its patron for their blessing by making a leadership test. If this test is passed until the start of the next turn subphase, all Chaotic Cult models within that unit gain the following benefit. If this test is failed, the unit's implores go unheard. Quick question. I know this is the me putting on the dunce cap. If I fail the test, do I get to try again?
No.
Yes. Why?
This is why I ask.
Oh, okay, Peter. Okay, so I'm thinking of the FAQ answer that says that one-use magic items that are used when you use them but fail to make the leadership test, aka the Falcon Horn, the banners, that kind of stuff, that you would still be able to make the test because you haven't actually used it.
So is that in the FAQ? Because the last I saw, the only one that has that is the Tomb Kings, and they specifically call it out in the Tomb Kings scrolls. Right.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm looking at maybe I'm putting a little bit more emphasis on this than
because the Tomb King scrolls have it where they say once per game you make a leadership test. If you fail it though, it does not go away, and it specifically calls that out, and the others don't. So like you can actually accidentally fail this and just not get the effect because it says once per game you do a leadership test. Like the way it's worded to me, you don't. You only get the one go. Once per game during the command phase, a unit may implore its patron and make a leadership test by making a leadership test. If this test is passed, the way this is worded, you don't get a second shot.
Let me have a read of the Cetra's Fury scrolls, just while we're here, because it's a very similar addition to the game. And I'll quickly see if they're worded any differently or the same.
They're specifically worded that if you fail the leadership test, you may try again in future rounds.
And that is what I remember them saying, which is why I would say this in this case you don't, because they have not given you a rider. We have a precedent for them saying, yeah, it is dumb. And this is one of the things I wanted to call out because I needed that question answered by people I trust before making a judgment on whether these are good or not. Pretty much that means with these upgrades, they're worth it on a unit that's going to have a character or going to be getting enough from Warband that they have a good chance to pass. Outside of the units that are planned to have like a leadership 8 or better effect, you probably don't want to buy these. And that's a little disappointing. But
here's the thing. You can only buy them on 2 units, right?
Yeah, correct.
Marauder Horsemen and Marauders, and their leadership 7 base, both of them. So you're getting like a 55% chance to get it off as long as you
No,
take
they're
it.
like the Marauders are like 10 because they're. Does it say unmodified?
No, it doesn't say unmodified.
No, so they get Warband.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So warband and or a character in there are necessary. So Marauder Horseman with a character, and then like you are having like 15 plus Marauders in a unit, and then these things are worth it. But then you're paying more because you have a bigger unit. So take the line where you can find it. The first of these though is the Cult of the Bloody Hound, Gryffindor. Models belonging to this chaotic cult gain a +1 modifier to their weapon skill. So this is a once per game ability, and will take you through a whole game turn, so a battle round, which is nice. What is the next one, Danny?
The next one that we have is, I guess, I don't know. Do you want me to go across? It's Cult of the Slithering Serpent, the sneaky snake.
Yeah, it's right there.
Models belonging to this chaotic cult gain the poisoned attack special rule.
Beautiful. Peter?
Where are we here?
Cult of the Carrion Crow.
Cult of the Carrion Crow. Models belonging to this chaotic cult gain a +1 modifier to their toughness characteristic.
Fantastic. Also Ravenclaw. And then Cult of the Fell Raptor. I don't know. Don't know which house this is.
Not this one.
I don't know. Well, Raptor and Crow. I don't know which one's. I thought Crow would be closer to Raven than Raptor. Raptor could be an eagle. Could be a Anyway, models belonging to the Cult of the Fell Raptor gain a 6+ ward save against any wounds suffered that were caused by a non-magic enemy attack. So a little demon save. How do we feel about these? Obviously, the +1 toughness is pretty jacked on, potentially, going to toughness 4 on your Marauders, or a couple of different ways. +1 weapon skill is not bad at all, depending on the army you're playing into, and poison attack on flails is pretty sweet, but sometimes unnecessary. What do you guys think about them?
I mean, the 1 point model on these guys. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you first, man. You're good.
Stop being polite.
It's like whatever. They're fine. It's once per game for 1 point per model. Like it doesn't like. I don't think any of this is game breaking. It's just okay. It's a cool little upgrade.
In all honesty, I'm probably going to fill out my armies as I wish, and then see what points are left for these. These are nothing I want to build around or super plan into my list construction. Outside of comboing like a toughness, a +2 toughness once per game with a natural fortitude, there's nothing really here that screams at me, I must have this in my list. Yeah, which is fair. Probably means it's exactly as intended.
Yeah, it's also only on your turn.
Correct.
Right? So you get so you're going to have scenarios where...
Well, no, it's... Yeah, if this test is passed until its start of turn.
Yeah, but you can't do it on your opponent's turn to get the buff, is what I'm saying. So you
pop it on your turn and then have it until your next turn. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to prep it knowing I need this right now and I need it to last a turn. So so your opponent does have play around it for one thing. Yeah. But it's fine. It's 1 point per model, and +1 toughness is amazing. And like Danny said, you're probably going to be, at least on Marauders, leadership 10 to do this. So you could have a turn where you're leadership, where you're toughness 6, if you really wanted to go that way, if you could stack multiple buffs, or toughness 5 at the very least, which is fine.
Yep, absolutely is. All right, let's move down to the Lore of the Shadowlands. Danny, tell us about how this lore works, and tell us the 6 spell.
Sure. So in addition to the lores of battle magic, demonology, and dark magic that are listed on a Chaos Sorcerer's profile, Sorcerers of Chaos can also know Lore of the Shadowlands spells. So this isn't tied to one particular list or anything like that. It's just an extra lore for Chaos Sorcerers, which is neat. And they have to pick. There's a signature spell, all that stuff. I'll just go into the signature spell. So the signature spell is called Maelstrom of Chaos. It's a magic missile, casting value 7+, range 15 inches. Place a small 3-inch blast template so that its central hole is directly over the center of the target enemy unit. When placing, it scatters D3 +1. Anything that you risk, risks being hit. Yeah, so the partials and all that stuff with a small template. And it's a strength 4, AP -3, which is nice, but templates are bad.
Yeah, I mean It's a small scatter. It's only a D3 plus 1 scatter. It's an average cast. It's a 7+, so it's on the relatively easy side. And it is a good strength with amazing AP, but still operating off a template. So I'm both ways on this. I'm like, there are some games and some matchups where this is going to be gas. Most of the time, it's going to be pretty rough. And if you like killed an inner circle knight, once per game with the spell, that's probably all you could expect. But Peter, what do you think?
I mean, like, if you shoot an infantry unit with this and it doesn't scatter off of them, you average like 5 hits.
Yeah.
Right? Because a 30 by 30 mil, the average hits with a small template is 1 full and like 8 partials. So you're averaging 5 hits with this, which isn't terrible.
If they're like
T3 is really good.
Yeah, if they're T3, your strength 4, you're winning on 3s. You're killing like 3 dudes. If they
even at even with like because the AP3, like it's really good into elite stuff. 7+ to cast, especially with the way magic has changed, like that's really beneficial.
Yeah, it's fine
as well. So,
all right, first of the spells in the 1 through 6, Peter baby, go for it.
Blackened Bolt. We get a second magic missile in this lore, which will probably excite some people, possibly getting into like triple magic missile territory with your Chaos Sorcerers. So it's cast on an 8+. It's a range of 18 inches. The target enemy unit suffers 2d6 strength 3 hits with an AP of 1, so like the summoning, but -1 strength. Any unit that suffers 1 or more unsaved wounds from the spell must make a panic test as if it has taken heavy casualties.
I like this quite a lot. I like this for picking off people's fast cav and scouts and stuff like that and just getting them off the table when they're outside command ranges and things. I think it's cute. You could also combo with some like neg leadership stuff, and just make people run a little bit more easily or freely. But the range is good. The casting value is 8 is okay. You don't love it, but it's okay. What do you reckon, Danny?
I mean, strength 3 is a bummer, but yeah, the point that you brought up, I think 18 inches is a really significant trait of this particular magic missile. The panic test is like, fine.
It's the one that you tell your opponent about. Like as an ogre player, I always freaking ask if you can cause a panic test. Like, can you cause a panic test on my saber tusks? And then they just start running, they're never coming back. Or my noblars, if I try and use them, aggressively or screening or trappers or anything like that. And so I always ask if anybody's an effect like this. So as an ogre player, I'm like, you can just make all my screens and redirectors just fall apart.
And I'd like to point out too, this isn't casualties; it's just wounds.
Wounds, correct. So yeah,
that makes it better. Actually,
yeah, I agree. All right, Veil of Gloom is up next. This is an enchantment casting a value of 9+, range 15. Until you start next turn subphase, the target friendly unit gains a 4+ ward against any wounds suffered that were caused by a template, and a 5+ against any wounds suffered in the shooting phase. So the template one is going to come up infrequently, but the 5+ ward against anything stuff in the shooting phase isn't quite nice. I am a fan of this. The casting value is a bit rough at a 9, but it's a very good thing. It's very hard to come by a castable ward save in any army. They're pretty rare. Peter, what do you reckon of this one?
It's fine. I mean, like sorcerers already have access to battle magic for getting a 5+ ward on their unit that they're in, but like a main issue with Chaos is that they don't really shoot very much themselves. They do get shot a lot. So having the 5+ ward and a 4+ against templates like this will include like vortexes. It's not just artillery. Is a thing to remember. It's not terrible.
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's fine.
I wish it was like an 8 because it's
same.
Because it's
also
limited.
Oh, good.
Anyway,
it also doesn't work against stand and shoot reactions.
Yeah, because it's not in the shooting phase. Yeah, I wish it just said any shooting attack. That'd be great.
Yes.
Good spot there, Danny. That's big. And staying with Danny, you're up next.
So we have Vortex of Darkness. You love to see a magical vortex spell, which this is casting value 10+. That doesn't. This isn't real anymore, guys. All right, so range 15 inches. No. It's remains in play. Place a 3-inch. It's a 3-inch. Whilst in play, the template is treated as difficult terrain. It scatters d6 inches at the start of every turn subphase. Any unit, friend or foe, that moves through the template or the template moves over suffers 3d6 strength 2 hits with no armor save. I don't hate it, but that casting value sucks.
It's the casting value.
It's not real. It doesn't actually exist.
Like, think about it this way. Cathay pays for this ability that's a magic missile and they can spam it with Ring of Jet, right?
Yep.
Stop.
And it's a lower casting value, and all of their units can take it. Meanwhile, this is a magical vortex you can't control with a casting value of 10.
All right, quick question. Do you guys think that they released these casting values before they changed the magic system?
I would not be surprised.
I would normally say yes, but they have so many 8s in this, like, as well. I feel like they did, though. I feel like this is.
So what we're saying is they know they need to bring the casting values up, but they haven't realized that Vortex is a god awful trash garbage yet, and that is hilarious to me if that's the case. But fair. All right, Shadowed Assailant is up next. This is the same assailant spell, casting value A+, in range combat. A single enemy unit the caster is engaged in combat with suffers 3d6 strength 1 hits with no armor or regen saves permitted.
This is good.
It's good. Actually, it's good because it's 3d6. Any lesser number, and this wouldn't be good, but your average roll is going to be somewhere between 9 and 11 hits. So you're odds on to flip 2 6s on somebody and just pop 2 wounds through all their stuffs.
Yep, and it's it's just like a mini Vile Tide that you punch somebody with, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like this one, and an 8+ isn't that bad.
Nah, it's not too bad. I don't mind it at all. Peter.
Crawling Mists. This is a conveyance spell, range of self, casting value of 6+ or 9+.
Nice.
If this spell is cast with a casting value of a 6 or more, a single friendly unit within 6 inches of the caster gains the reserve move special rule. If this spell is cast with a casting result of 9 or more, every friendly unit within 6 gains the reserve move special rule, and this lasts until the end of this turn. It's if Chaos had like a shooting units,
correct,
this would be amazing.
What are we doing here? Well, we got freaking just a cloud of Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. What are we doing? Like, how does this make sense as a rule that is in any way for this army? It's a good spell though, but it's just like so juxtaposed to the freaking units you have.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, I'd only see this being used if like Sorcerer Lord spam was on the menu, and you could have one guy with this so that you get reserve move on your unit with that has like 3 Sorcerer Lords or Exalted Sorcerers with a bunch of magic missiles, all Zinch, and you're just kind of like, this is my move, guys.
You could do the double or triple Chariot Lords, Sorcerer Lords, right? It's a lot of points, but you're just playing like Chariot Keep Away.
Yeah, you could do like 2.
You want the
3, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
I'm saying that because the Marauder Bunker has gone away to buff up those Sorcerer Lords.
All right, but you cast Deed of Shadows on your guys and you have reserve move on it, right?
Correct.
That's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, okay. I can see maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's the play.
All right, last one. Chains of Darkness.
Go ahead. You can read it out.
No, you go, Danny.
All right, Chains of Darkness. This is a hex. Casting value 8, range 18 inches. I like that. Until your next start of turn phase, the enemy unit suffers a -1 modifier to its movement to a minimum of 1, and leadership characteristics to a minimum of 2. Yeah, I think for an 8, it's not bad. You can't cast into combat, which is kind of a bummer, but 18 inches is good enough to get it where you probably need it at least once. And I don't know. I think -2 leadership is really good.
I think it's good. Yeah. I mean,
I think this is another one. Like, Chaos has a bunch of leadership debuffs they can possibly do, but it doesn't come up a lot.
I'm trying to find the payoff, right? Because apart from the terror charging and just winning combat more better,
I think that's it.
Which dude, Warriors of Chaos struggle winning combats? Not really. So
no, but they can struggle getting there, and so sometimes just being able to be like, I'm at my max charge range. I'm declaring a charge mainly to see if you run away.
Yeah,
I guess is a thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, like, it's very situational. This is another one I feel will be a lot better if we ever get like a Chaos Undivided book where you can combo with like Beastmen or Demons or something, because then there's lots of payoffs to having.
That's what I was about to say.
Debuffs.
There are spells over there for leadership, take wounds, like Screams kind of effects in Demons, and that's where I'm trying to look for the payoff. I'm looking for something that is the payoff.
Yeah, there isn't really one right now. Like there's Yeah, like there's this. You combo this with that like dark heart thing, black hearts, whatever, so that now they're -2. If you have tear, they're -3 on a break test. But and then now you're just trying to break them better. But I feel like it's going through a lot of hoops that are resolved by chaos just by the fact that you're killing them anyway.
Yeah, your Warriors of Chaos. Just effing kill them till they're dead.
It's like a win more.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, we're into the artifacts of the Shadowlands magic items, and these are available to every army in the freaking game. So everyone pay attention.
Except for demons and dwarves.
Except for demons. Yeah. Oh man, if demons could take these, my God.
They can in German, Tom.
Please. I know. It's very exciting. All right. First up, we have the Cackling Blade for 65 points. This is, of course, combat. Strength +1, AP 1, extra attacks D6, and magical attacks. Notes: if a natural 6 is rolled for the extra attacks, a special rule, the bearer of the Cackling Blade immediately loses a single wound. And I have to say, why? Why am I punished for rolling the number of the dice that I want to see for 65 points? That should just not be there, because for 65 points, strength +1, AP 1, extra attacks D6 is totally fair and still wouldn't be taken. Yeah, that's where I'm at with the Cackling Blade. Any other thoughts?
No,
you shouldn't take this.
No, don't take this. I'm trying to think of a unit that already has like 6 to 7, 8 wounds and then just goes like Berserker Blender mode.
So you could take this on a Doom Bull instead of the Beastman one that does a similar thing.
Yeah.
And then you take like the what's it called, gouging horn, so it's AP2 instead of AP1. Yeah. And like that kind of fucks, but I mean, they already have like an AP2 item that does this exact same effect, and instead of losing a wound every time, they lose like one weapon skill, which they don't care about. So I'd rather that.
Yeah. All right, Danny, you're up next.
All right, so next we have the Meteor Hammer. It's a 50-point magic weapon. No matter who wields this mighty hammer, their blows will land with the force of a meteor plummeting from the heavens.
Yes. Go, Danny. Go.
The Meteor Hammer is, again, like I said, a close combat weapon. Strength is user. AP -3. Magic attacks requires 2 hands. Notes: when making a to-wound roll with this weapon, a roll of 3+ is always a success, regardless of the model's toughness. I like this. I think
it's spicy. Cool. There's some spice here for sure.
Yeah, I think this is good. 50 points is correct, I think, for what it does as well. Always winning on a 3 at AP3, pretty hot.
Yeah. Like the only other item that has a similar effect that I can think of off the top of my head is the Spear of Twilight for Wood Elves. That's a Wood Elf item. It's 65 points. It does have Killing Blow on top, but I think this is pretty solid. Like there's not a lot of common. There are no other common AP3 items. You have to go to like book specific stuff. So
PD baby.
The Hell-Forged Axe is 30 points. In the midst of battle, smoke billows and flames burst from the glowing blade of this fell weapon. This is a Strength +1, AP1 axe that is Armor Bane 3, has flaming attacks and magical attacks.
Cool.
It's okay. Don't take it.
Nah, don't take it. All right, Sword of Sorrow, the funniest weapon possibly in the game right now. 30 points. Peter, read the italics. It deserves it. It deserves it. Go on.
Though it possesses no special properties, when wielded in combat, it is said that a gesture with the Sword of Sorrow can pierce an enemy's heart from afar.
The reason that's funny is that when it's wielded in combat, this thing is range 30. It is not a combat weapon. It is strength 5, AP 1, armor bane 2, magical attacks, multiple wounds 2. The Sword of Sorrows is a missile weapon. It cannot be used in combat. No water regeneration saves are permitted against wounds caused by the Sword of Sorrows. This thing is sick.
It's hot.
So it's fire
hilarious. Dude, there are so many armies that will take this, I think.
You know who takes this? It's
Seaguard.
Yeah, you take this on like maidens and stuff, and you're just like, ballistic skill 1 billion and AP 1. So like you don't always get the wounds off, but when you do, like you're killing characters and shit.
Multi-wound 2. Yeah, it is hot.
No,
It's
no
actually
regen or ward saves. It's a pretty good item. Like it's not like a must-have, but it's quite good.
Yeah, I agree. And hilarious. Though it possesses no special properties, it's a range 30 sword that apparently someone doesn't think is a special property. Anyway, it's so fucking funny that metallic text is just like acting like this is a common sword, and then the sword's like, ha ha, I fly. Yeah, pretty funny. All right, Danny, you're up next. Magic armor.
All right. So next we have. God, I'm getting all the good ones here.
Yeah,
We have the levitating shield for 25 points. Models whose troop type is infantry only. The levitating shield is a shield. In addition, the bearer may use it alongside a weapon with the requires 2 hands special rule during combat.
Hot.
Yeah, that's great.
this is really good.
Yeah, this unlocks a lot, and for 25 points, it's a bit steep-ish. Like when you factor in, okay, cool. So the idea is I'm going to just buy a grey weapon and then take this, and then well, if I'm somebody who pays like 10 points for a grey weapon, I could have just bought a 35-point magic item instead of paying for a grey weapon and a levitating shield. But I still think it is juicy.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some play here with this item. 25 points is probably a little steeper than I would have liked, but I'm definitely going to try it out.
Yeah, me too. Peter.
The Trailblazers Hobart. I don't know. 20 points. The local flora seems to shift and bend to allow the wearer to pass unimpeded through even the thickest briar. Models whose troop type is infantry only. The Hobart is a suit of heavy armor. In addition, its wearer gains the move through cover and scout special rules. It's fine.
Neat.
Oh, for 20 points, I think it's pretty good. I just can't get my head around where I'd actually want this, because what it gives is good, but yeah. Sorry, mate.
Oh, I'd put it on a Chaos Lord.
Ha!
Just do it.
Just do it. That is pretty funny. Where's the magic carpet? Like, where's you could use it on pocket sand on the Mort Priest, and he's a flyboy now with scout and move through cover. That's pretty cute. And
Give a Chaos Lord put it on a Beast Lord. No, Beast Lords already have Skin of Man, so they don't care. But yeah, Chaos Lord with this and the magic carpet, and then like you have a flying, scouting, 3 wound dude that's got a 5-up base ward save anyway. Like, yeah.
You are obliged to play I Could Show You the World from Aladdin every time you declare a charge with that guy. It's contractually.
We'll show you the world, all right.
All right. Talismans, Icon of Fortitude for 35 points. Model whose troop type is infantry or cavalry only. The bearer is immune to multiple wounds. If they do take a wound from multiple wounds, they take a single wound. 35 points. Not bayed. Infantry and cav only is the rider there, and probably good.
Yeah, I mean, this is something a lot of armies have access to. This one feels like it's just one where they gave this to a bunch of armies, and somewhere along the line, we're like, maybe everybody should have it. And
correct. Yeah.
So they just threw it in as a common item. So
yeah,
I like this a lot in some of the, because we have a lot of legacy armies that are being forced to build all in Death Stars like Skaven, and I think this is the kind of thing that finds a lot of home in those kind of bricks, those kind of builds. I think it's pretty good there.
Maybe.
All right, Danny.
We have the Ironhide Talisman next. This is 30 points. Model says troop type is infantry only. An enemy model that makes a successful to hit roll against the bearer of the Ironhide Talisman during the shooting phase or combat phase must re-roll any to wound rolls of a natural 6.
I think this is excellent.
Yeah.
These boys disagree a little bit, but I think this is amazing. Obviously, it is. Everybody now has an insulation against Killing Blow and Heroic Killing Blow. It is infantry only, so sorry, Heroic Killing Blow. But I like this a lot. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, you listed off before the show like what you loved it on. I think it's like fine for everybody else, but the situation you brought up, I think it's amazing. But
yeah.
Sweet. And we're going to tell you about that on part 2. On part 2, we have designed a legacy character that we think it's a new lease on life thanks to these magic items. But Peter, first of the banners.
Yes, the banner of the steadfast. The banner you should not take. Woven, it's 50 points. Woven into the bright fabric of this banner is a scene of unimaginable gallantry. A scene that serves to inspire those who fight in the shadows to hold their ground no matter the odds. Models whose troop type is infantry only, again, should a unit carrying the banner of steadfast belong to the losing side of a combat, it may choose to fall back in good order, even if the unit strength of the winning side is more than twice that of its own side. So it basically counters the getting doubled out scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you this, guys, if you're taking a unit and you're thinking about taking Banner of the Steadfast, just take a unit that's going to win combat instead.
Correct. Why are you planning to fail? Don't build
or that has enough models that you're never getting doubled out anyway. That's
Correct.
your other option.
Yeah.
Or just buy the banner that gives you stubborn, and it just lets you do this no matter what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, there's a lot of scenarios here where I feel like when I first read this, I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. You can do this, this, and this. And then, no, actually, it's not. It's not good.
Yeah, for 50 points, it's legitimately not good. Danny Baby.
All right. So we have Totem of Wrath for 50 points. During a turn in which... all right, I'm just going to say this gives you the Choppa's rule.
Yeah.
So when you charge, you get +1 AP, and you can reroll wound rolls of 1 when you charge. For 50 points, yeah, it seems good.
1 sec. I'm just going to the Ogre's magic. So the Dragonhide banner is 45 points, and you reroll natural hit rolls of 1. In addition, you carrying the dragon, it had flaming attacks. So never mind, because this feels like the old one of those. Feels like the old Dragonhide banner, and it's not bad. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, it's definitely an option. There's a bunch of units in different armies that'll probably love to give this a try. It's 50 points, which is pretty heavy, but it's a good benefit.
I mean, the one that shits me already is Peg Knights with this on it. Just AP3 roll once to wound, which is pretty much auto wounding against anything that isn't another monster. But anyway,
it makes all their stupid
banner echelons, and they like their Vanguard banner more most of the time.
Exactly right, and it's the hooves. You make the hooves actually real off the pegs. Yeah. I do know where I actually love this, Peter. Blood Crushers.
The one unit that can't take it?
Yeah, baby. Banner of Swirling Wind for 30 points. Yeah. Any enemy model that shoots at a unit carrying the Banner of Swirling Wind suffers an additional -1 to hit modifier. I love that this is just the thing that people have in the game now, because there are so many armies that really don't have any insulation from shooting. And so I think this is good. I think this is
I mean, this is another banner that a ton of armies have. And now everybody has it.
Yeah, I think it's good. Good for the game. And is Peter next or Danny next?
Yeah,
it's me, and this is the best item in this whole book. It'll be used the most. Monster Hunter Tapestry. It's only 25 points. Those who have earned the right to fight under this standard have battled some of the old world's most dangerous beasts and lived to tell the tale. Enemy units may not make stomp attacks against this unit. For good. 25 points. Shut off stomps. Beastman players, you're done. You figured it out. You are now the best army in the game.
I think this is baller. Like every Ogre's list, just getting it in. I will take this over the War Banner that I put on my Bruiser BSB in my unit of Iron Guts every time. Every time. Yeah. What if? How many more combat res is it to just not get stomped by the dragon? It's a lot more than +1. So. Yeah,
no, this is stellar for a lot of armies. I bring up Beastmen because they're the ones that stack the most hit penalties on their gore blob, and now it's like the one way people were normally dealing with it, if you weren't shooting it to death, was to stomp it to death, and now you don't even get that. And they also now have access to a banner that gives them an additional -1 to be shot at if they want to take it too. So they're -2 to be shot at, -2 to be punched in close combat, and you can't stomp them. Like that Death Star is starting to get real scary.
Yeah, totally agree, dude. All right, Danny.
We have our first enchanted item, the Arch Lightning Rod for 40 points. Single use. This is the Falcon Horn.
Yeah.
Correct. 40
So
points.
you take a test on your own leadership. If you pass, enemy units don't get to fly until your next turn.
Everyone has it. Everyone has one
Everyone
now.
got it now, and the ones that had one now have two.
Yep.
Which is probably where it's better, is the fact that some of these armies now can do it for 2 rounds.
Yep.
Since Bretonia players have been bitching to me about how Falcon Horn is so bad since it's been nerfed once per game. Now you can pay 40 more points and you can do it twice per game, my guys. Live your best life.
Everyone crank out the little violins. Let's go.
It's not like you don't have an entire army of veteran to make it work properly.
Dude.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Who
If it wasn't
decided?
so strong, Bretonia would be disgusting still. But anyway. I digress.
Potion of Fervor for 30 points. Single use, +3 attacks. During the command subphase of their turn, the bearer of the Potion of Fervor can consume it. You get plus D3 attacks to a maximum of 10. It also tells you that you can only consume a single potion per combat phase. I guess you can only like drink so much per turn.
Challenge accepted, dude. I think I can drink
Centaur's-
a lot of potions in one command phase.
I reckon I can drink a lot more than one in a command phase.
Yeah, me too. I could drink a lot of potions.
Is this any good for 30 points?
No. I mean, people, I think like if you took it for some kind of crazy like killing blow combo or monster killing blow, maybe.
So the only place I can see it is so there are so many characters that are on the cusp of like one-shotting a balloon. On average dice that like I've got a tyrant with a tenderizer that's sometimes one shot, sometimes doesn't. A magistrate usually pretty much doesn't. I could rerun the math with this involved and see if it makes a difference, and then maybe it does.
Yeah, but I mean you're taking away your defensive prowess.
My TMP, yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'm losing TMP to put this on, but
yeah. So like I'm not sure that's worth it.
Oh yeah, probably not, but putting a little fear in God into some balloons might be something that is attractive to people.
Yeah. I wish there were more units like the Witch Hunters that have like Killing Willow base.
Yeah,
that's where I think it would be kind of cool to get those extra attacks, just to have that one turn where you're like, I'm going to kill as much shit as possible.
All right, PD, you're up.
The Becalming Orb, 20 points. Single use. The bearer of the Becalming Orb may cast the following bound spell with a power level of 1. It's a hex. It's range self, which is odd for a hex, but it is what it is. Casting value 8+, so you got about a 55% chance of casting this. Until your next start of turn subphase, enemy wizards that are within 15 inches of the caster attempting to cast a spell increase the spell's casting value by 2. So it's like Drain Magic, but worse.
I quite like this. Yeah, I quite like this. So the trick here is which I learned copying Dwari's dwarf list, is that you cast this while you're outside of dispel range, and then super uber move into dispel range and just take away your opponent's first casting turn, or you attempt to just take away their first casting turn. You don't really plan to ever get it off after that, but that first turn, if you can just go first, pop this, and you get yourself at him, and then just against theoretically like Tomb Kings, and just take away a Mork Cult's first turn command phase casting, is pretty good. Like, it's legitimately pretty good. Take away all their extra moves and the flies and all those things, and then make them scramble to get out of the range and make them change the way they have to play. For that, I think it's good, but it needs to be used very appropriately, like very, very well.
Yeah, it's single use though.
Yeah, I know.
Meh.
Yeah, like what if you scouted with us?
That's you scout or Vanguard with it. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But like I said, single use is a bit of for single use, they could make it less points, like 20 points.
I think it should be casting value. You don't have to.
Yeah, correct. It's single use. It happens. Yeah, that was my thing. 20 points.
Single use, it just happens, guys. Like, we're allowed to do that. You make the rules.
Correct. There's no reason for this to be a spell. It's a single use. Who cares?
This item gets better.
Make it be a leadership test. If you like, I don't get why your opponent gets to have a chance to dispel it if it's a single use. I think that's shit.
You could also just write Becalming Orb, 20 points, single use. This is shitty.
Yeah, fair.
This will not. This does something sometimes. Like, just like that on this page.
It has too many failure points to be good. All right, I'm up next. Arcane items: Staff of Quietude. Yeah. Anyway, 35 points. During the command subphase of their turn, the bearer of the staff can attempt it to unleash its power by making a leadership test. If this test is passed, all remains in play spells currently in play are dispelled, including those cast by friendly models. So you just blank them all. So how do we feel about this one?
It's cool.
This is cool. I think this definitely has some potential, especially depending on your meta. If you play against a lot of necromancy or you play against a lot of illusion, like vortexes, we know are kind of hit or miss anyway, but just like shutting down the necromancy leadership spells and their movement spell, shutting down Column of Crystal, without having to do a roll, I think it's great. There's definitely a place for this depending on your meta.
Yep, I think so too.
Agreed.
Danny.
We have the Scroll of Disruption for 30 points. Once per turn, the bearer of the Scroll of Disruption may re-roll a Dispel roll. Asterisks. This will be for both of these the next two items. Note that when either of these items are used, all dice are re-rolled, including any bonus dice or discard dice granted by special rules or magic items. So it'll make you more likely to miscast.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the last one, Peter, because we can talk about these two together.
The Tome of Spellcraft, also 30 points. This is the opposing one. Once per turn, the bearer of the Tome of Spellcraft may re-roll a casting roll. So you get a little high elf bonus to your.
Yeah. I think these are very nice to have in the game. And once again, I think legacy armies get the most out of these. Chaos Dwarves, Ash Cloud pretty much became a thing that we could no longer play around or plan to have. A little bit of insurance feels good. Take a power scroll, take a Tome of Spellcraft on your dude on the Bale Taurus, and all of a sudden, Ash Cloud, at least for the one turn you maybe really freaking need it. It's right there at your fingertips. Yeah. Because there's a bunch of like-minded effects where people used to have a legacy army that had, cool, if I get these couple of spells off, I can hang with some of the big dogs, and that went away. So I'm very happy to see these two things in the game. But in saying that, I don't expect them to be auto takes.
No, these are very niche. Like I could see Scroll of Disruption, especially with Wood Elves comboing it. Oh no, wait, it's not a common. Never mind, you can't do it. No. Whatever I was about to say, ignore it. You can't do it.
I was about to say, are there any common items in this? I don't think there are any common items.
I think that's on purpose.
And then they give us none.
Yeah. They said, anything asked with the mark with the asterisk. They even say it at the top, and then they're like, lol, look for it, you nerd. They're not there.
I imagine if we get an FAQ, the Potion of Fervor will become common because that's almost all the potions are that way. But I feel like they just forgot. You
telling me you wouldn't want the Becalming Orb to be a common magic item?
I mean, it's better than a Pigeon Bomb. So.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth hole there, sir. The hallowed Pigeon Bomb of Antioch.
Oh, God.
I just want to be able to take 3 Swords of Sorrow on the same character.
That's right, dude. You mean the sword of no special properties that fucking flies 30 inches?
When wielded in combat. So when you're punching a guy with it, stabbing them, it doesn't do anything. But when they're far away, you stab them extra good.
Yeah, and then you're yelling, it's not special. As the dude has the sword sticking out of his face.
It's honestly, this is kind of like a drone. Commit war crimes on that side of the battlefield, and ignore what's happening.
Damn. Has anybody watched The Shadow with Alec Baldwin?
Oh, okay.
The Shadow knows what evil lurks in the minds of men, Adam? Like that?
Yeah, that one. The sun is shining, but the ice is slippery. That's the Sword of Sorrow is from that show. Literally.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, they got the flying knife that bites him in the hand and shit. It's
it's not called the Sword of Sorrow. There's a bunch of those.
Look. I reckon I could if it was called the Sword of Sorrow, no one would blink.
There's also a bunch of books called The Sword of Sorrow. Apparently, this is just what people do. Red Sonja.
Wait, are you saying they've ripped off even another idea?
No way.
Catholicism has a Sword of Sorrow.
No,
I'm adding to the list of other things being ripped off. We got Lord of the Rings, we got Harry Potter, Sword of Sorrow's novels. Yeah, plenty.
And Catholicism, yeah, it's the benediction of, I'm reading it now. The Rosary of the Seven Sorrows of Our Lady specifically calls out the swords of sorrow. Man, Catholics have this sword available to them. We just never knew. It's in the Vatican.
Are their ones range 30 as well?
They are. It's specifically called out in the Rosary. Like whenever
they keep them in the tabernacle, Peter. Actually, I know.
Oh no.
All right, you sloppy babies. Let's wrap this one up. That's the end of the review of the Razing of Westerlands. What do we think about this book? Closing thoughts, Danny.
This is one of the better Arcane journals I feel like they've released in some time. I would almost say, God, I'm just trying to think back to like the last good Arcane journal that they've released, and it's been a while.
Yeah,
it genuinely has been a while. What was Beastman the last good Arcane journal?
Beastman was probably the last good one.
Yeah. Peter, what are your thoughts?
I like it. I like it a lot. I think like the magic lore is kind of meh. I've been told by some people that also have this book that they think the magic lore is amazing. I don't know why, but maybe they know something I don't know. But I like pretty much the rest of the stuff. I think the rest of the stuff is great. So
I'm going to be way more critical. I dislike 3/4 of this. I love the Magic Item Edition. I think that is fantastic. More things for everybody is what I want, not more bloat for this specific army. And that's what it feels like. It feels like, cool, we're going to bloat Warriors of Chaos up. We're just going to add a bunch of stuff that either people, someone's going to pull out at a GT in, 3 months' time, and everyone's going to be like, huh? When was that? What are you talking about? And like, oh yeah, it's the chaotic traits portion of the thing. Like, all right, so you have the mutations, you have the traits, you have the marks, and then it's just bloat, man. And I don't feel like it's necessary. I'd much rather get Armies of Infamy and completely unique ways to play the game rather than more ways to tweak, characters that are already incredible, as Warriors of Chaos characters pretty much are. And so I don't love that bit of the book. I think it's just unnecessary. And the fact that I'm considering playing Wolves of the Sea at the moment, and I'm going to swear here, but I need 3 books now to play Wolves of the Sea.
Don't you play 40K?
I do, and I want less 40K in my goddamn fantasy. I have to do that shit so much in my other job. I don't want it over here.
We've already been told that Cathay is the same way. Cathay is going to require 2 books minimum to play just like the base Cathay army, because
just the Grand Army,
because the Grand Army, the next book is going to have the new Grand Army rules, but it's not going to reprint the unit entries. So you're going to need 2 Arcane journals to do base Cathay. You'll need 3 if you want to do Jade Fleet. So it's going to be interesting. I do agree there about the bloat. But at the same time, I like having new things and I like new toys. I do love them adding new core magic items, even though like there's only a couple of them that really do anything for me. Just the fact that they're available is nice, especially for armies that have nothing. So
I agree. All right. On that note, we're going to wrap this one up. Oh, sorry, rankings and ratings out of 5. How much do you like this, Danny baby?
3.5.
Nice. And Peter?
4.
Yeah, I'm about 3, so half point down on Danny. And do you guys think this will significantly elevate, downgrade, side grade Warriors of Chaos overall, seeing as they're the only army that got significant changes out of this?
I think it's a slight buff. I don't think it's a huge.
Yeah, I think Grand Army is tiny nerf, and everything else is buff. So whatever. All right. On that note, we're out of here. Come and join us over on part 2, where we're going to be talking about some army and list design using these new rules for Warriors of Chaos, in addition to answering Patreon questions. If you want to get that goodness as well, jump over to Patreon, join our Discord. That is That Old World Charm. Say your good nights, boys.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to That Old World Charm with those charming chaps, Adam, Danny, and Peter the Falcon. Thanks ever so much. Cheerio.